Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining Black Women Do Workout today. We are committed to giving you a spiritually enlightened health and fitness platform. Today, we have Crystal Adell, the creator and founder of Black Women Do Workout. She's going to give us a spiritual message for the day and for the week, actually. And then we have a special guest today, Kass Gray, and she is going to talk about her modeling and fitness journey. It's going to be so excited. I'm Sharlene Rochard, and I'm going to be hosting today. Take it away, Crystal. I'm really excited to hear your message.
Well, my message is pretty consistently across the board on this platform that we stay very informed with who we are and where we come from. We come from a place of love, compassion, and tranquility. And we need to continue to represent ourselves that way. And so I'm glad we have Kass on the call today, on the live today, because I know that in the modeling world, sometimes you get caught up in just about what you look like, and people associate you with your looks and not who you are, what you resonate outwardly. So I think that I want to continue to keep that memory of who we are and where we come from, and that we treat people in a way that they want to be treated. And the way you do that is you try to connect with an individual on the level of their needs and their desires. And you try to decide how I can make that happen, how I can please a person in a way that they want to be treated and they want to be respected. And when you do that, you get that right back from them, because they're setting a guideline for how they want to be treated by you, and you understand that, and then you respond accordingly to that, and then you'll get that back. So I think that the golden rule is to treat others as you would like for yourself to be treated. But I think the platinum rule is what I want to encourage people to also consider. The platinum rule is that you treat others based on how they want to be treated. So you find those desires and needs for them, and then you respond accordingly. So that's my inspirational and spiritual message for today, is to treat the soul with a little bit more kindness based on how they want to be treated.
That was great. Yeah, that was really nice. Thank you so much, Crystal.
You're welcome.
So, I'd like to introduce Kass. If you want to look at her Instagram, it's at KASSGRAY. And Kass, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you get into modeling?
Yes, for sure. Well, first, thank you for having me. And I started modeling when I was 18 years old. My sister, she found a contest in Elle magazine, and it was to get an opportunity to have a 6-page spread in that magazine, as well to be signed with Elmer Olsen Model Management. So I ended up being one of the top 3 finalists and out of all of Canada. And Elmer wanted to meet me. We took things from there. A week later, I moved to New York. He said Toronto was not the city for me. Everything happened very, very, very quickly. I also did have a degree at the time, or a scholarship for my degree at the time. And I wasn't sure if I should go into modeling or not, because my parents were very adamant about me going to school, going to university, and getting my degree. Anyhow, I took the chance. Fast forward, I managed to complete my degree in social work, and I've been able to travel to many, many countries. I've been in commercials, ads, you name it, runways around the world. Very, 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 very fortunate. Amazing experiences, to say the least.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a great start. I mean, a 6-page spread in a magazine, that's a really great start. Most people just dream of having that at all. So that's amazing. Are you spiritual, Kass? And if you are, how do you maintain your spirituality in this crazy industry?
Yes, I am very spiritual. And although, like you mentioned, the industry is not very spiritual, I feel that throughout my entire journey of modeling, I still have to be true to myself. I feel that, that's how I got through this industry, being and continuing to be spiritual. It was being true to myself. I also incorporate prayer daily. So I start my mornings with prayer. I end my days with prayer. And throughout the day, I'm praying as well. And I feel like I've had this connection to God throughout, ever since I can remember. And it stems from my upbringing, from my parents' guidance as well. But for now that it's been heightened, my spirituality, I feel that my diet has a lot to do with that.
And speaking of diet, how do you maintain your physique through what you eat?
Well, as I mentioned, I start my days with prayer. I'll lead into drinking my water. Right after, I'll have a smoothie. To be honest, I have not been this healthy all my life. In the modeling industry, having access to alcohol and being just in the entertainment industry, period, there's a lot of access to things that are not healthy for your body. I drank a lot, and it was to the point where I was starting to see changes on my skin. I was getting acne on my arm, and I was wondering what was going on, but I was saying to myself, there's no way that I can continue this. Especially being a model, you want to, have your physique as well, just be as top notch as you possibly can. Anyhow, I visit the doctor. I find out that even my cholesterol levels were so high to the point that she said by the time I reach 40 years old, I would have a stroke.
Wow.
And you would never, looking at me, you would never think that I was unhealthy. But that day changed my life. And from then on, I've been having smoothies in the morning. In my smoothies, I have to have at least these two ingredients. I'll either have a green smoothie or a fruit smoothie. And I have to have sea moss. I have to have grapefruit and chia seeds in there. Sea moss, I don't know if you guys are familiar with, but it does have 92 minerals of daily for our body. So it's really important. If you can't get it in your diet, I suggest that you do. Definitely put that in my in my smoothies. And the chia seeds, they're very high in fiber. So that's my way of detoxing my body, as well as the grapefruit. It flushes you out. It keeps you balanced. And I just feel that, the things that we're eating, I'm very mindful of what I'm eating now, because it does change my mind, how I'm thinking, my connection to God, and just my being overall. And being able to even stay strong in an industry like us, you have to be strong-minded. So it's important to watch what you eat. And these days, I definitely do. And it's been, let's say, about 4 years. So I've been really conscious of what I eat.
Do you have a workout routine, Kass, that you follow as well? Or?
Well, since the pandemic, I've grown to love yoga. It's a time for me to keep calm. I use it also as a time for me to pray. While I do yoga, I pray. Once I'm finished, I pray. I feel that really keeps me grounded. It keeps me level-headed. It reminds me that regardless of what industry you're in, you're still a human being. And the most important thing is, or the most important, thing about life is what's going on inside besides outside. I mentioned earlier, Crystal, that it's so important to deal with what's going on interiorly in order for you to shine exteriorly.
That's correct.
And I also feel that people can feel that, when you're taking care of yourself interiorly, there's something about you on the outside that makes you, appear however you want to describe it, but better than, you typically would if you weren't necessarily taking care of yourself in a good way.
Right. It resonates.
Absolutely.
Positive beauty from the inside resonates outwardly.
Absolutely.
And draws people in even further to you. And
that's right.
Being a model, you're going to always attract people because of your physical appearance. But the thing that keeps people around you is how pleasant you are and how calm you are inwardly.
That's
and right. how much peace you can bring into other people's lives. And that's why I say it's so important to focus on the platinum rule of trying to meet people in a place where they want to be treated. And then you get that back. And so you have a more harmonious relationship with people. And so in the society that we're in right now, there's just so many negative energies floating around. and you don't want that type of energy cracking your spirit and seeping into your soul, and then you become that. And now you're coming across the way that you don't want people to treat you, but that's how you're treating others. And you haven't tapped into your conscious spirituality yet because you haven't become aware of what's happening to you spiritually. And so
Right.
I think people get out of focus with that because we focus so much on our exteriors, our body, what our hair looks like, what our nowadays is what your butt looks like. It's something new that we have to focus on, and we think that's who we are. That's making me who I am. But no, you can have all these beautiful traits and still have people around you that just don't care for you too much because of what is coming outward. So we need to focus more on that journey. I love the before and after journey pictures of the weight loss, but I would love to see more of us working on a before and after of our spiritual growth and awareness and how we are treating people, how our spirit is reacting to people around us.
That's right. That's right. And I know, when you look good, you feel good, but internally, when you're feeling your best health wise, you look good anyway.
Yeah.
You glow. And it's so important. It's so important. And I'm realizing as I get older, how important it is to work on your inner
Yes.
away from your exterior.
Yes. Yes. You get older and you get crotchety at sometimes. And that's something that people have to worry about because they're not remembering who they are and where they come from. And
That's
again, come from a divine field of love, compassion, and tranquility. And so we have to get back to that. You have to represent yourself that way. And whenever someone comes around you and you feel that negative energy, you feel the tension, you feel it like in your chest and in your soul, that's your spirit saying, this is not right. I don't like it. So
that's
you have choices. You can walk away from someone who's being overly negative or overly too aggressive with you. Comfortable. You can walk away from that and be perfectly fine. Or you can try to allow them to see that this is a behavior that doesn't feel well with your spirit, and just tell them, my spirit is not really receiving your energy right now. Do you think you can present yourself in a way that's more pleasant? I would like a little bit more tranquility. I would like a little bit more altruistic behavior from you, and I would like a little bit more peace. If we can have that level of playing field at this point, then maybe we can move forward in our discussion or our interaction. And I think a lot of times people forget that's where they come from. And so you have to remind others, this is where I come from. I come from love, compassion, and I come from a place of tranquility. And I want to meet people that are like that with me. So reminding people who you are and then tell them you're from that same place. You come from a place, a divine fill of love and compassion. Remind them and then just set the reset the level and then say, okay, let's move forward from this point.
That's right. And it's so important to listen to yourself. We
Mm-hmm.
all have that. I feel that we all have that inner voice. And to me, that's God speaking to us.
Yes.
And the more that we listen to that is the better off that we are. I can speak from my own experiences. When I go against what my heart and soul is truly saying, things go wrong, things go left. So it's so important to really, really hone into who you truly are and stay connected, and realize, for good or for bad, our situations can change at any time, right? So that constant reminder of that is what also keeps me grounded.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Kass, do you have any more encouraging words for those who are on a better fitness and health journey? Or
Absolutely. I'd say keep going. Keep going. Even when you feel like you're tired, you want to give up, just don't stop. Just keep going. I'm not where I want to be exactly health-wise. I would love to be even more healthy than I am. Still working on it daily, incorporating exercise daily, and still, even though you're at a point in your life where you feel that you're working towards it, but you may not be getting there fast enough, just keep going. That's what I have for you. Keep on going. Doesn't matter if you have to pause or not. Just don't stop.
Right. It's sometimes it just takes steps. You have to take baby steps, and one step is better than no steps.
Absolutely.
Always going to be a no if you don't take the steps to make it a yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, Kass. And thank you, Crystal, for joining us today. And thank you, everybody, for being here. You know, even though we are working on our physical journey, we also have to remember where we came from and who we are on the inside, and that we come from peace, love, and harmony. And yeah, I think that's a great message for the day. And stay positive, everybody. So,
And we're going to have to also remind others. I just saw a message about body shaming. We don't do that here. We don't do shade. We don't do Schadenfreude. You know, Schadenfreude is a German term of shade, and they basically mean the same thing. We don't do light shade. We don't do trolling. We don't allow that here. You have a safe place here. If you want to come here and be in a place of inspiration and love, we're here for you for that. We're going to take people off this page if they're here for the wrong reasons. If they think that it's funny to laugh at people in their journey, we're not going to think that that's funny, because that's shade, that's Schadenfreude, and we don't like it here, and we don't tolerate it. We have a zero tolerance policy on our page for that. So you don't have to worry about the body shaming. We're in control of this page. We're in control of who joins and who says things that are negative. We'll take them off. So if that's your goal, is to come here and to shade people or to Schadenfreude people, that is not going to be tolerated here. There's no body shaming. We're all on a journey. Come on, let's be better than that. Let's try to remember where we come from. We come from a place of love, compassion, and tranquility. So let's not come to this place here and demonstrate otherwise.
Just before we close, I wanted to add, I also feel that it's important to keep positive people around you. You know, we did touch on this a little bit earlier in the conversation, but it is so important. Like you mentioned, if your energy is not taking to someone, it's okay to not be around that person. It's okay to keep them at a distance. And I feel that that just helps us with our lives, going throughout our day-to-day lives and throughout just our journey in life. We will definitely have a more positive experience with who we choose to keep around us.
Right. And I've even had women come to me and thank me for reminding them of where they come from. When I've had women who were overly assertive or just too aggressive with me, assertiveness is not such a bad thing. Sometimes people just are confidently saying things to you and they want to assert themselves. And that's not a problem for me. But when you become aggressive and defensive, I'll have to remind someone, okay, this is uncomfortable for me. And tell them that, because they just forget. They get caught up in all this emotion and like forgetting that they're like, coming out of a bag in an aggressive way. And everyone has that love and compassion in them, I believe. And I just think you have to remind them to say, hey, you're coming across a little too aggressive for me. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. And I don't know if you're even aware of that. And so if they say, oh, I didn't mean that, or what do you mean by aggressive? Just say, hey, I feel some tension in me right now because of the way you're speaking or the way you're animating. And it's uncomfortable. And I want to continue this conversation with you, but I'm just hoping that we can get a little bit more tranquility in the way we speak. So I think reminding our sisters of, this type of personality that maybe seeped into them that they were unaware of is another key factor to leveling the playing field and getting around any type of negative energy, because you definitely don't want that seeping into you and now you become that.
That's right.
Yeah, and we've been getting lots of emails and people sending in their picture, and please keep doing that, because that's what we're all about. We are all about positivity and giving everybody the encouragement, like you said, Kass, to keep going. And we want everybody to keep going in their fitness journey and their spiritual journey as well. So it all goes together.
Yes.
You don't just have a fitness journey without us being spiritual, because you have to take care of the inside. Mm-hmm. So you have to remember where you come from. And yeah, this has been a really great talk. I'd like to thank you both, and thank you everybody for being on the call, and keep the positivity coming, everybody. And if you have any more questions, please email us and we'll be sure to answer them.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
See you next Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.